Hi, fifth grade champions. Great to see you today. We are continuing on with our book, Falcon Wild. It kind of had an interesting turn yesterday. I think something may be happening by introducing a new character. We'll see. And I'm going to begin at chapter 5, page 34. Chapter 5, page 34. He was weird, Gavin says. He wasn't that weird, I say. Dad is suspiciously quiet on the subject. That road, Dad, Gavin asked, pointing. Can we turn there? Because I have to pee. Dad groans. Why didn't you go at the gas station? I didn't have to go then, obviously. Well, Dad glances in the side mirror at the figure behind us. I did tell the boy we were turning here. He takes the turn and we head down a bumpy trail that has no right to be called a road. Dad studies the GPS and jabs at its buttons as we bump along. Looks like this road continues across hook up with Highway 287. We can stay on it all the way through. After we stop for Gavin, he gets in the back seat with me and Dad starts up the van again. The road straightens out a bit. I keep expecting Dad to lay into me about making him pick up a hitchhiker. Knowing that the lecture is coming makes the silence worse. Dad must be waiting until we get to Denny's so he can give me his full attention. Wonderful. Choose a color, Gavin says, leaning toward me with an origami fortune teller game folded over his 2 pointer fingers and thumbs. Each of the 4 flaps has been colored with a different marker. Red, I say. R-E-D. Gavin counts out the colors letters by pinching and then opening his thumbs and fingers, closing and opening the fortune teller. 4, I say, anticipating his next question. Why do you keep making these? This is my gift, Gavin says, predicting the future. He counts out the number with careful concentration and looks at me again with a wicked grin. And now pick another number. Choose your fate wisely. 2. I don't know why I play. His fortunes are so crazy. Gavin unfolds the flap, marked with a 2, and clears his throat. You will suffer an unfortunate accident involving a turnip truck. It does not say that. And then you die, Gavin crows, waving the game in front of me. I snatch it from him. Oh, too slow. I hold him away at arm's length until a hard bump pulls my attention back to the road. We still haven't reached 287, Dad, I ask, stuffing the game in my back pocket. Think the GPS is wrong? Never, Dad says. I lean forward and open the console, hoping for a road map. Dad, where's the phone? I look at the floor and under the seats in front of me. I don't know. Where did you leave it? I think about Cooper leaning over the console. That boy stole our phone, I blurt out. Are you sure? Dad turns around and points under Gavin's seat. Did you check? A shocking boom explodes from one of the back wheels. The van lurches to the side and we fishtail wildly. I grab the door and scream. Hang on, Dad yells. The front tire sinks into the soft shoulder of the road. In an instant, the van plummets, glass smashes, metal shrieks. Gavin's head jerks and his long blonde hair floats as if caught in slow motion underwater scene. It takes just a fraction of a second for this to happen. It takes a moment longer for me to realize that the van has flipped over and we've landed sideways. The van is still and quiet, deadly quiet. Dad! I scream. Gavin! I blink. Everything is wrong. I try shoving my door open, but it's jammed. The other door is above my head. I reach for Gavin, but my seatbelt stops me. I release the button and sag out of the seat. The van is a horror show full of broken glass, but the worst part is being sideways. It's so confusing. I can't figure out where everything is. I pull myself up. Glass crunches under me. Gavin, are you okay? I grab him and his eyes fly open. He gapes at me but doesn't seem to focus. Then he blinks, looks around, and screws up his face. Karma, Dad, what? He starts to cry. We were in an accident, Gav. Shh, it's okay here. I jab at his seatbelt and he flops into my arms. I'm wild with checking him over, making sure he has all his limbs. My world narrows to only my brother. He's so trusting and wily and fragile, and I hold him and unhold him. Once Gavin has calmed me down, I turn to Dad. He's too still. My heart pounds as I grip him. Dad, wake up. He moans, and slowly his eyes open. The front of the van smashed toward him. His face and neck are bleeding from a bunch of little cuts. Dad, the airbag is covering you. I have to get you out. But it's not the airbag. The whole steering wheel is pinning him to the seat. I don't know what to do. Dad is on the downside of the van, leaning against the door. His window is broken and there are glass shards all over his chest. Dad, get up! Gavin starts to cry again. I raise my chin and hold on to the focus inside me. Cry later. Things need to get done. Dad finally lifts his head and looks up at me. Karma, are you okay? He's talking. He knows me. Yeah. My breath comes out like the mew of a kitten. Let's get out of the van, Dad. Help me. I pull his arm and he cries out. I immediately stop. What? Dad pushes against the steering wheel that's bent in toward him. The whole front dashboard is looking like an accordion. Something's pinning me. My leg. Dad grabs his leg with both hands and tries to shift it, but it doesn't move. He pushes against the steering wheel, but it doesn't budge. Karma, you're going to have to call for help. I'm stuck. My focus is slipping as the adrenaline in my system pumps. I look around the van confused. Then I think of the phone. It's missing. Then I remember Stark is still in the back. How could I forget Stark? I lunge to the back of the van, crawling over more broken glass. The funhouse tilt of everything makes me woozy. The seat is angled above me, and I skirt around it to get to Stark's crate. The crate is still bolted to the frame of the van. I peer inside the tiny slatted window, half expecting to see a lifeless form. But there she is, crouched on the side of the crate. She shakes her head. Amazingly, she seems to be uninjured. A few down feathers stick out, making her look disheveled. A primary feather is bent on her tail, but it can be easily fixed with hot water and a crimper. I want to take her out to check her over thoroughly and reassure her, but if I do, I might never get her back in. I'll come get you soon, Stark. You're okay. I leave her safe in her crate and turn to the back doors of the van. I reach for the handle on the lower one and push on the door. It creaks, but swings open. Karma, Dad yells. Hold on, I'm going out. I need air. I need to think. We're at the bottom of a sharply steep slope dropping off from the road. I scramble up the slope, which is covered with loose rocks. My arm is suddenly throbbing. I stop to catch my breath and look up at the incline and then back down at the van. Gavin has made his way outside and is watching me. I pull myself up the embankment. Gravel gets into both my running shoes. The dust coats the back of my throat as I gasp, as I rasp with the effort. Finally, I reach the edge and step out onto the road. Our tires have left grooves alongside the road, with the dirt shoved around the tire tracks right there for me to see. The violence of what just happened sinks in. My knees tremble, and I drop and slump onto the hot dirt. When I peer down the road in both directions, I see no one. Even so, I scream. Help! I cup both hands around my mouth and yell again. Help! Only the shriek of a raptor returns my call. I shield my eyes from the sun and look up. It's a Swainson's hawk, wheeling in a circle hunting motion. You see anyone? Gavin's little voice calls up. No. I push myself back up, lean on my knees for a moment, and then stand tall. From this part of the road, I can't see Gavin or our van down below. What do we do, Karma? Ask Dad. I don't know. As I gather my thoughts, I wipe my grit-caked hands on my pants and look down at our broken van. It rests at the bottom of a ravine, pinned against the base of a scrubby tree. There's a patch of smaller trees behind it. An idea hits me, and I jump off the road, sliding back down the soft sand toward the van. You see anything, Dad asks? Hang on. I'm going to get you out. I head for the shade of this tree, searching for a long branch. Gavin watches. His eyes are big and red, and his face is pale white. I find a sturdy branch and push one end on the ground, leaning my full weight on it. It bends but doesn't give. Please let this work. By the time I climb into the van again, maneuvering the long branch through the back doors, I'm soaked in sweat. My eyes burn, but the only thing I care about right now is getting Dad free. Try this, Dad. Can you wedge it under the wheel? Dad fumbles, and when I see how truly stuck he is, my head pounds. He shoves the branch between his knees, gritting his teeth. Good. I'm going to use the console as a pivot point. Remember the fulcrum lesson, Dad? You okay? I feel like I could protect him with the power of my need. He has to be okay. I'm okay, he says. I don't like the idea of pressing on Dad's leg, but I'm ready to try anything. Gavin and I lean on the branch with our combined weight, but nothing happens. We jump up and down on it, thrashing it this way and that. Still, the steering wheel doesn't budge. What are we going to do? Gavin cries. He slumps to the seat. That's when I notice Stark's cage door is wide open. I scramble over and peer in. The crate sits empty. Where? What happened to Stark? I whirl around and look at Gavin. His gaze cast down at the broken glass at his feet. She got away, he says. What? I was just going to see if she was okay, but when I opened the door, she left. What? Why did you? She was totally freaked out. Everything closes in on me now. The accident, the roll down the embankment, metal crunching, broken glass, Dad trapped, deserted road. No phone. And now Stark is gone. My sobs drown out anything that Dad and Gavin say. We're going to stop there on page 41, and we'll begin on page 42, chapter 6 on Monday. Thank you so much, fifth grade champions, and have a really good weekend. Take care.